What's going on, Trojan family? Welcome to the USC LAFB show here on the LAFB network. We are Los Angeles Sports. This is your daily dose of USC Trojans news. Football's back, guys. Football is back. Fall camp is underway. I've been out at practice, taking in the sights, the sounds, the smells. It's been fantastic. So, jumping on here to talk about Breck Kolojay. I know I'm a little behind doing this video. His commitment was during yesterday's practice, which I was at. It was a practice that the media was allowed to view the entirety, all of it. It was awesome. Unfortunately, can only report on the viewing portion as we typically are. So anything after that, we actually are not allowed to even really talk about, write about, report on. So can't get any updates on there, any formations or how anyone looked. I'll just say this: it was an intense practice. I think the culture is in a fantastic spot with where this program is. I think, you look at the players' passion for not just the game, but for the program is at an all-time high. So a lot of good to come out of it. And so, yeah, I can't say anything specifically, unfortunately, but it was a lot of fun to be there and a lot of good stuff. I do have a report on the individual part. I'm not going to waste a lot of time in this video on it, but if you want to check that out on LAFBnetwork.com, it is there just kind of talking about, some guys were taking punt return reps. You look at Mekhi Lemon, Zacharias Williams, I think is actually one to really watch for in kind of that category. Some stuff there on kind of the linebacker rotation. Obviously, Elijah Newby back now at linebacker after going from linebacker to edge. Now he's back with Rob Ryan at backer. So some little things from there, but most of it's, individual drills, not a whole lot to take from it. But team looks great. The vibe is great. The culture's in a good spot. There should be a lot of excitement around this team. Last thing I'll say on that, because I think this, in my opinion, I think this gets... this storyline is just not true. I think there's a lot of angst towards Lincoln Riley in terms of availability for practice. I've seen a lot of comments like, "Oh, what is he hiding?" I've even seen some people say, "Yeah, 6-16. Like, what are you trying to hide?" People can view me as trying to defend him. Whatever, say whatever you want. But I've been around college football, been around the NFL. Like, this is not a Lincoln Riley thing. This is a college football thing. College football in general is extremely more guarded, extremely more hidden, if you will, a lot less access. Part of that is because these are, even though they're getting paid now, these are still kids. So part of that is just that aspect of it. Now, I know everyone will compare to Pete and what he did with practice. I get that. Pete is one of one, all right? No one else is going to be like Pete Carroll. If you look right now around college football, Oregon's practices are not fully open to, for sure, the public, even the media. Like, you can look right now about Oregon's practice schedule. They get individual portions. Penn State, Ohio State. Like, this is not a new thing that Lincoln Riley is just being guarded. This is what college football is. Like, if the NFL, it is an NFL mandate for certain access points, right? No coach is going to want full access if they're not forced to. Like, why would you? It doesn't benefit you at all. I know fans don't like to hear that. And obviously, a lot of this game is played for fans. And obviously, this is a little bit different point because there's no spring game. So I get that boils over a little bit more, 100%. There's been talks they are going to do something before the season kicks. I haven't heard officially, but some sort of fan fest where they get to view something. Because I do think that is important. That is definitely a bummer of not having that. So I'm totally with everyone there. So anyway, I want to talk about. I just think it's a little misguided that it's all on Lincoln Riley, in terms of kind of having these practices like this way. That's college football. Like UCLA, they don't do anything. Like, it's, they had a spring showcase, which is what they do instead of their spring game, which USC has always done. This year is different, so I know that's the big talking point. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on it. I think it's a college football thing, not necessarily a Lincoln Riley thing. Hey, everyone, you can still be upset about it. It doesn't change anything. Anyway, Breck Kolojay. If you've been watching this channel, if you've been following LAFB Network, no surprise, right? I'm not here to pat myself on the back, but I've been saying for 3 weeks now, 2.5 weeks now, that it was feeling really good that Breck Kolojay would ultimately commit to the USC Trojans. That commitment has now become official, choosing USC over Georgia, over Miami, over Colorado, over Oklahoma. This is an elite offensive lineman. Rivals has him ranked at 30th on their industry rankings. ESPN has him as high as 6, but 6'5.5", over 300 plus pounds, and I think extremely versatile, plays guard, but a super cerebral player that he mentioned, and I'll kind of get into this. He had a great interview with our good friend Scott Schrader over at Rivals. I believe it's up on YouTube. You can watch it. Scott always does a fantastic job. Scott's my guy. But great interview there and a lot of insight. And, he talked about Breck, that is, his smarts for the game, his football IQ, and the fact that playing guard at IMG last year, he was the one that called out the checks and the plays from the guard position. So certainly can play center. We'll see what USC intends to actually use him as, but it would not shock me if he starts at guard and ends up sliding into center early in his career to kind of be that future center on the team. So I'll get more into that. He now, as we've said many times, is the 7th offensive lineman in this class. Huge number, but fantastic in terms of what they're getting out of these guys. You got 3 tackles, 4 interior guys. Tackles, obviously, Kenai Pepe, Vlad Diakonov, and Chase Denise. Chase Denise, let me just say this really quick. Chase Denise is an under-the-radar guy who's going to kind of be like the Elijah Vicona of this 2025 class. Elijah Vicona was like a 3-star. He is a mountain, guys. I've seen him out at practice. He is enormous and already drawing rave reviews from the coaching staff as a freshman. So I think Chase Denise has a similar skill set. Big body dude, kind of underrated, flew under the radar. But I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. And even if he finishes as a 3-star guy, when he gets to campus and gets to USC, I think everyone's going to be like, where did this guy come from? This guy's a pretty dang good tackle. How did he fly under so many radar? And then the interior guys, you obviously now have Breck Kolojay, Easton Taffa, and the likes of Cannon Smith, and then, of course, John Fafita from California. So those are your 4 interior guys in this class and bringing the total to 7. So as I mentioned, I think Breck can play guard, can play center, gives him that versatility, which Lincoln Riley and this entire coaching staff obviously loves. We know of the shuffling on offensive line often, the likes of guys coming in as tackles, getting moved over to guard and center often. So I think him being versatile is an absolute huge position to be in. So lastly, I'll just say, when you watch that interview with Scott, these young men, these are young kids. I mean, he's 17 years old going into his senior season. And then we see talking even on the college campus on USC, these young men that are 18, 19, 20, 21, it's a new thing. A lot of them speaking to the media. I don't think I wouldn't have been good at it as a college person back in my days at Long Beach State if I had to talk to the media all the time. And a lot of them, I will say this, they're not. It's not that they're not good. It's just you can tell there's nerves or even when they're giving their answers, it's kind of robotic and kind of it feels taught and instructed of okay, here's a safe answer. We stay away from this kind of thing. Breck, his interview, I mean, the answers, the insight he was giving, you can tell this dude is going to be a leader, is going to be I don't want to say culture changer because I think USC has a really good culture right now, but a culture builder within his room and a guy that they're going to lean on to kind of do that. So vocal guy, he mentioned many times about he is a leader and that is important to him to be a captain on the team and to be the leader of his entire offensive line unit in his room. And he talked about why he chose USC, aside from the connections with I've documented a ton, so I won't say this anymore. Aside from the connections, aside from the coaching staff, obviously he built a great relationship with Coach Zach Hansen, had a great one-on-one with head coach Lincoln Riley down at his house. His official visit, as everyone knows, was just him and Mark Bowman, so a super intimate official visit. He was able to play golf with Lincoln Riley and Zach Hansen, and he said that was just an awesome experience at beautiful Terra Inn in Palos Verdes. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Aside from that, Chad Bowden being, he said, an elite recruiter. He was really the focal point of changing his recruitment, getting involved, getting him offered, and USC really shooting to the forefront. Aside from all that, he said that one of the big factors for him was being a part of something bigger than himself. And we've heard a lot of recruits talk about that, right? And specifically in this class, like putting USC back to where USC should be. And it starts this year. It starts with this 25 class, 24, 23 class, the guys that are in the program now. But then this 26 class is kind of going to be the foundation to springboard it to the next level that it'll never hopefully leave from again. Like you'll never have that down year again. Last year was the last down year. Now this year is your production year, 8, 9, 10 wins. Next year is your, hey, natty aspirations from here on out. So we talked about like being able to be a part of that, building that, shifting where the program has been over the last 2 decades. Because he said, growing up, if you would have asked him 3 years ago, he wouldn't have wanted to come to USC. He wanted to go to Georgia or Alabama. He said that flat out. That's where he wanted to go 3 years ago. And you can understand why, based on where the programs were. But seeing now what has been laid by this coaching staff, by the growing pains of the last 2 years, and seeing what this 2026 class is a huge reason why he chose to come here. So huge pickup for USC. Again, Rivals 30th ranked interior offensive line. I think he's much better than that. I think this is a huge get. I think this is not I know that some of them have him as a 3-star. I know he's an industry standard 4-star. To me, he's a clear 4-star, coming from one of those premier high school programs in IMG. So this is, to me, one of the top-notch gets for them in terms of actual play skill, size, versatility, and then what's between the ears. I think the IQ and just the leadership intangibles that he has will speak volumes for years to come. So huge get for the Trojans. I wanted to jump on here quick. I've done 2 videos basically predicting it would happen. Now it's fun to get on here and say, yeah, officially, Breck Kolojay is committed to the University of Southern California. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you've enjoyed our kind of sights and sounds videos we've put up. A lot of interviews have gone up since USC Media Day, so if you haven't even checked all those out, we'll have plenty more. Obviously, we'll be at, me or Tim Pranglin will be pretty much at every fall camp practice and then into the season as well. We brought back, finally, I know everyone was asking about it. We appreciate it. It means you actually enjoy it. Brought back the Call-In Show officially every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Come hang out with us on the USC LAFB YouTube channel for our live Call-In Show. We want more calls coming in, so come and hang out there. Coach is going to be back here soon. Obviously, he's coaching high school ball down at Jordan, but he'll be kind of jumping back on the mic with Madman. We'll figure out kind of how that all looks, but a lot of USC content every single day, hopefully, here on the USC LAFB YouTube channel, but also on LAFBnetwork.com in written format and photo gallery format, as we'll have that all for you. So make sure, hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. Become a member if you want to help support LAFB, but also part of your membership is going to be donated to youth sport initiatives right here in Los Angeles. You can certainly help a good cause as well. Thank you guys, as always. This is the USC LAFB show on the LAFB Network. I'm Ryan Dyrud. As always, fight on.